Hello everyone. Here is my recap video for the real estate market in 2020. I often get asked this question, what's the real estate market like? And I have begun to do these quarterly videos to hopefully help you understand what's going on in our backyard here. The national markets, the macro indicators, and what's local. All real estate is local anyway. So 2020 was a crazy year. We all know that. It's glad to have it behind us. We the real estate industry saw about, I've split it up into about 6 trends that we saw in 2020. The first one was just pivoting to the new reality with masks and hand sanitizers and virtual open houses and, even with the physical open houses lining up outside and letting in only one family at a time, and more focus and even more emphasis on the online advertising for listings, and the videography, the photography, even more important. And, agents who weren't quite up to speed with the online stuff quickly had to learn. So this was online training as well, so this was great, I believe, for the industry, because a lot of these things are just here to stay. I know many agents weren't very tech savvy and doing all of this, but now it's here to stay. In terms of volume of business, so the volume of sales in the entire year, the markets picked up the volume, even though we were shut down for 2.5 months. So even in Pennsylvania or in the local markets in Chester County, we see that in the 2020 sales exceeded the 2019 sales, in spite of the fact that we weren't able to, we were not essential employees, realtors weren't essential for 2.5 months, from March through May. This is what I had predicted back then in terms of when the markets open up. This is what the recovery is going to look like, and exactly that is what happened. Imagine a tennis ball. It depends on the bounce of the ball, how wide the V is. It is yet to be determined, but we're going to go straight down, but we're going to bounce right back up again. At least that's my prediction. Here is a map of Chester County pending sales, and it shows that dip when we were shut down. Pennsylvania was shut down longer than everybody else, and then when the market opened up, it was still bonkers. The red line continuously stays above the 2019 line, and we made up our numbers in sales. So what happened? How did we fuel this market? One of the biggest stories of 2020 was the mortgage interest rates. If you haven't refinanced yet, please look into those numbers. If you think somebody will benefit from this video, please pass it on to your friends and family. The interest rates have never been historically lower. I mean, this is what the graph looks like. Back when it was 3.5% and 4%, we were predicting, the only way for it to go is up. But it continued to drop, and we saw some historic rates that our clients have taken advantage of this past year. And that's what fueled the demand. So if you look at the demand-supply situation, the supply was far less than the demand, especially for our area. But this is what the national market looked like. The prices went up, and the inventory was so low. And so that was, multiple bids and crazy bidding wars that happened over the desirable homes that came on the market. So that was, the mortgage industry fueling this whole crazy market. And also, people stayed at home a lot longer, and now they valued the home even more than they'd ever before. So for some of us who've been in real estate all our lives, we always talk about homes and we love to talk about it, but everybody was shut at home. And, we realized that we wanted that extra office, or we wanted that finished basement. So new construction, the contractors also got a lot of business, and, it's tough to find a contractor these days because everybody's so busy. That backyard that you always wanted for your pet, or, people just wanted to make all these projects happen in 2020. And so home became more important than ever before, which we love. Another trend was, the new construction trend. I do want to bring that into the equation, because people were, of course, afraid of letting people inside their homes. So the sellers were reluctant to put their homes on the market, and it was a very low inventory market. So demand far exceeded supply. So who benefited from this was the new construction communities. We have a lot of new construction happening in our area, and those sold like hotcakes. I mean, I personally, my business was a largely new construction, and that was true for others as well, because those were the only homes that were available to buy. And the builders have been going through some supply chain issues. I can see a lot of hiring, like, you see project managers who look very young, and it's like, well, how long have you been with a company? Well, 3 months. So, just a timeout reality check for the new construction folks. If you think you don't need a realtor with new construction, think again. There's a lot happening in the industry, and we experience, and it all depends on the builder. The the builder has some builders overcame those supply chain issues and were still able to deliver on time. There are some who are still struggling. Like, I've had clients who were supposed to settle in the middle of last year in the fall, and we have not even done our pre-drywall walkthroughs yet, and it took a year and a half to finish some homes. And some we had to pivot, like, lumber was not easily available, a cabinet's not easily available. So that was the new construction story. um, but they had homes to sell, and so new construction did really well in our area. Um, another trend that I do want to talk about is the forbearance. So with all this, craziness about high demand, low supply, prices going up, inventory being so low, what happened to the economic distress and people losing their jobs and you know foreclosures that were predicted? So again, I had made some predictions back in May, or I think my August September video about foreclosures and forbearance. Last time when the real estate crisis had happened, it was caused by the subprime mess, and it was caused by very loose lending standards. Now, when we do an assessment of all the mortgages in the country, first of all, there's a lot of homes that are completely paid off, and there's a significant portion of the homes where there is at least 45% equity in the homes. So people in general have a lot more equity in their homes. They're not likely to just leave their keys and walk away and let the banks repossess their home. So my prediction is there won't be that many significant foreclosures and short sales, because people have a lot more equity. They have the capacity to hold on to that home till they find that next. So this is what the forbearance chart looks like. Everybody assumed that 30% of the homes would get under forbearance, but the reality wasn't quite as high. And those who panicked and got into forbearance actually got off it and started making their payments. So to back up a little about foreclosures and short sales, they typically happen for two reasons. One is economic distress. You've lost your job, and you need to having a tough time making the payments. Yes, that's a fact. But then the other thing is, how much equity do you have in your home? And based on my predictions from the other video, they're all true. We don't see that foreclosure or short sale activity. We don't see any, the homes are selling so fast. So even if you find yourself in that unfortunate situation of having to sell your home, you're going to get a good price for your home. That will allow you the mobility that you need to pick up and take off somewhere else, and, maybe find jobs elsewhere. So now on to the predictions for 2021. I see three major trends, as we call it. So, to back up a little on the forbearance, don't read the headlines. The headlines are meant to terrify. Talk to the local professional, and they will clarify a lot of the things that are happening in the local market, because we do this all day long, and we're happy to help with. I'm the knowledge broker. I give you all the information you need to help you make the decisions that you need to make for your families. So that's my goal always. And customize, because those Inquirer headlines or the Daily News headlines are, they're meant for clickbait. They want you to be, clicking on that link to be able to read that story. So get the true picture from the professionals in the business. That's a conversation you want to have with your realtors. So three major trends I see for 2021. One is the downsizing seniors. We are going to see a lot more inventory on the market, because the seniors are going to be way more confident about putting their homes on the market. The baby boomer generation selling their big homes and moving into something less more manageable, less maintenance. That is the trend that we've been seeing or expecting to see. It was paused in 2020, and we will see it happen in 2021 is what my prediction is. The baby boomers is a pretty large group, and they will want to downsize and move into smaller digs, more manageable digs. The second trend is the millennials. They were perfectly content until now to be renting. They were perfectly content to have turnkey apartments where they could just turn the key and be able to travel for work or for pleasure, and they didn't want the maintenance. But now you see the millennials growing a little older and beginning to get married and have kids, and now they want the school district, and they want that backyard, and then they want that the pets, and it sort of makes for the buyer housing boom from that large generation that's going to be strong buyers for 2021 is, again, that's my thoughts. Um, and another trend is the movement from the metro areas to the suburbs. I have another video somewhere where I talk about all these reasons to move to Chester County, PA, and it is so true, where this area that we have been seeing, is seeing a lot of influx from neighboring states, from New York, from New Jersey, from the Philly metro areas into Chester County. So here is some county makeup here. What happened in the last year, it would be based on counties: Philadelphia, Berks, Montgomery, Chester, Delaware. You see there's a slight difference, significant difference between Delaware and Chester counties and Philadelphia County. So that is the beginning of that urban shift into the metro, from the metro to the suburban markets that I was talking about. So again, these are only predictions. Let's see what the market does. Stay tuned to my quarterly updates. Sign up for my emails. I send out an email once a month, and there's always something of value, whether it's sweepstakes to win some gift cards, or whether it is news about what's happening in the market, or how to save money on, if you're a homeowner. So there's always something of value in my emails, and I send them out only once a month. Put it in your comments below. I'm happy to put you on my subscription list. And subscribe to this channel. I have videos that are very informative. If you see any value in them, please share them with your friends and family or colleagues. And I'm always here to answer and customize. Remember, I'm the knowledge broker. I'm happy to give you all the information you need to make your decisions. Have a wonderful 2021, and thank you for listening.